Alcanzame el peine que me voy a peinar un cacho para mis alumnos. Así no me ven tan de peinar, hace tanto que no me peino. ¿Está grabando? Well, hello again. In this second part, I will develop the introduction speech, which is page 19 in your booklet. In this introduction speech, you will find one of the speeches, the public speeches, that are related in a specific format. So let's rewind what we have seen in the previous video. We have seen that public speaking means or is to communicate an audience some information. There are different ways of communicating to the audience this information. We have speeches, we have presentations, we have lectures, we have also teaching as a way of presented information. So, in this sense, what matters here is the type of a speech that you're going to give and also the way in which you're going to deliver your speech. Every speech is related to the topic it concerns and also the way in which it is delivered. The best way of delivering a speech is the extemporaneous one. The impromptu is nice because you work with your knowledge, but the extemporaneous is the one that you use an outline of your speech. You have to make a lot of research, you use examples, sometimes you have presentations or visual support, but the fact is that you rehearse before. So you make research and you rehearse before about the topic. The introduction speech is a type of public speaking, it's type of the public speaking field because it is related to the academic world. You can have the introduction speech in different ways. Yes. The first thing is to have it as introducing yourself before giving a speech or before giving a presentation. You can introduce yourself in the sense of working with being nice with the audience. So you can say hello, or good morning, or good afternoon. My name is Laura Segovia. I was to say Miss. I'm like the doctors. I'm Dr. Laura Segovia. I'm Laura Segovia, and I am here. It's an honor for me to be here, and I will present. Or I will talk to you about this or that topic, etc. So that's a type of that's a kind of introduction, a paragraph that would help you to be in contact with your audience, be friends with your audience, and apart from that, it will give you a nice starter, like a nice breakup. In the second part, in a second way of using the introduction speech, you can introduce another person of the academic field. Once you prepared a lecture or a presentation, or even in your classes as a student, you have to introduce a person or a famous person or a historical figure, and you use the introductions for that. And it has a format. You have the format in your booklet. So, for example, you can introduce yourself and you can introduce a guest speaker. You call guest speaker. You say who you are first at the very beginning, but then you have to remember that the protagonist is another person, it's not you. Okay? So let's see. Let's make some kind of summary, general summary. So we have public speaking, we have as a way of communicating information to an audience. We have different type of speeches to make that communication. We have different ways of delivering those speeches. Once we decide the type of speech we are going to give, we have to say in which way we are going to deliver. Are we going to memorize it? Are we going to talk with an outline? Are we going to introduce, some kind of impromptu? We're going to talk about out of the blue? Or are we going to use a written speech? You're going to read a written speech. You're going to read your speech. No, you're not going to do that. Well, I will tell you some examples of that. Well, so let's start with introduction speech. So when we introduce a guest speaker, we have to take into account the context in which we are. We are in the academic world, so as a teacher or as a presenter, we need to focus on the aim, on the purpose of the speech, okay? So if you are teaching a famous character or figure, the history of that person, I don't say the story, I say the history, because we're going to pay attention to facts and dates, for example. You need to make this kind of speech. Okay, you need to highlight and outline the presence of that person. You're going to build up the image of the person. So the guest and the audience both get interested to the topic, and they are in the best mood. If you present a historical figure in a very unproductive or boring way, your students are going to be bored. So the same as an audience. So again, the idea of this public speech, that is introduction speech, is to purpose is to highlight or building up the image of a famous person, of a person that was recognized for their work in the or their job in the complete world. So first of all, you have to try to search the information, the biographical information. Going behind and beyond biodata means to go deeper, not only to facts, that is to say, you're not going to say in what happened in every year of his life. We're going to go deeper. You're going to add some kind of information that maybe the audience doesn't know. So what you need to know is to find out the real person behind the famous person that is there. I mean, we have some historical figures that are they speak by themselves as Martin Luther King, but young students, they don't know him. So the idea of this introduction, for example, is to highlight and build an image of the real human being behind the politician. So you have to search for unknown facts, personal interests, achievements in other fields. Sometimes we have famous people who have been very famous because, I don't know, they were inventors, but they have other interests. The philosophy of life, how they traveled abroad, if they made some kind of charity, okay? That's something that we have to find out in the biodata. For example, if I'm going to present my favorite author, because I love him a lot, you know who, I will search all the information related to his life that people, in fact, don't know. I would do that. Even though his life in particular is sad, well, maybe I should change the character, but imagine that you have to go not only for the facts, but also for things that are behind that or beyond that. Well, the formula for the organization of the speech is the top formula. That means, topic of the meeting, you have to explain in 1 or 2 sentences why people is there, why the guest is there, yes, and why you are there. The occasion of the meeting, that is again 1 or 2 sentences that you have to explain, in which is the context. Why and which is not the same, which is the context, okay? For example, you can say that you are here in a book fair, that would be the occasion, and the topic would be presenting a new book, or the topic would be talking about how language evolves, for example. You see the difference? So, topic and occasion, in that order. Then you talk about the person, that would be the body of your speech, the body, biodata. You have to build up the image that you have built up, you set there, okay? At the end, you salute, you made a closing sentence, a conclusion, and then you go. So, what you have to know is that you are building up an image. You are not prizing a person. You are just telling the person, or talking about the person, from the point of view of his or her work. First, you don't have to disclose the name until the end. You don't have to talk about the person until the end. The person, even though the people there knows who the person is, you're not going to say at the very beginning of your speech, well, I am here to present Mr. Edgar Allan Poe. No, the name goes to the end. In this kind of speeches. Then you have to have time. You cannot speak more than the speaker, so it's 2 minutes. Don't praise falsely, it is insulting, and don't praise too much, it is disgusting. The praising falsely is, he is wonderful, that would be falsely. And disgusting would be, he is the marvelous, well, the thing that I would say if I have to present Poe. He is the marvelous, the most generous author of the Gothic literature. Look out. You would make the other person to feel embarrassed. Don't repeat adjectives, don't use cliches, it is boring. He's great, he's great this, he's great that. the one and only. Let that for an Adele song. That's all. You don't have to read. It's an image building, so don't read it, and I will tell you then why. So after finishing, you present and say thank you, and you go out. I mean, you finish your presentation. That's the idea, okay? But there are other things that you have to take into account. That is your body language. That's why the test in which you're going to introduce a famous person, then I will tell you who, is going to be a video. You're going to send a video, okay? Then at the end of this video, I will tell you some things related to the process. Maybe you don't know yet, or I don't know, maybe the other teachers didn't tell you. Okay, so I was saying that there are other things apart from this topic format that you have to take into account, that it's body language, posture, gestures, eye contact, voice base or voice volume, and language. Well, in this part of the video, I will explain the evaluation task. So, after the introduction speech in your booklet, the format and everything, the explanation, you have an evaluation chart, right? That is a kind of rubric that I will use to evaluate your performance in the delivery of your speech. You have to take into account all the things that we have already seen, like the academic words, the academic vocabulary, the examples, the different outlines as regards public speaking, the format, the delivery. We're going to use extemporaneous, yes? And you're going to introduce an author, a writer from the 17th, 18th, or 19th century. I will make a raffle, yes? And you will have the author that it gets to you, okay? So I will make a raffle. I think I will record it. I'm so tired of recording, of making these things. I want you to see you live. I'm so sick of technology. I like it, but I'm sick of it. Well, so I will make a raffle, and you will get your author, and you will start making some kind of investigation. I will make the raffle by the end of this week, okay? So you have a task in the Padlet, that is the idea of and the different type of delivering the speeches. So the idea is that you work with that to practice the untwisted, to untwist your tongue, please. Like I have to make tongue twisters for a video to a school that I work, and then it got viral because I think Canal de Quilmes took it. You can use those if you want. I can send you the link, and you can use those to untwist your tongue. But use the activity in Padlet to untwist your tongue. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing that you have to pay attention, you have to take into account, is the way in which you're going to hand in your speech, because you're going to record. We're going to use the extemporaneous. You're going to make research. You're going to find out information, and you are going to send the transcription, phonetic transcription by hand, and a copy of your speech, the tape script. So what you can do is this: you can write your speech in a clean version, and then you can transcribe below it, and you send a picture to me. I don't have a problem with that, okay? Or you can use it separately, as you wish, okay? But first of all, I have to give you some things that you shouldn't do in your speech. Then I will tell you, and I will show you, because I will have an introduction myself of a person, a famous person, and I will show you how, okay? But remember, follow the TOPS formula, okay? The topic, the occasion, the purpose of the presentation, and the person, that is to say, the why the people is there, but also have to some kind of outline of the biodata, yes? And then the conclusion, a salute, yes, a bye-bye. So you have to follow those steps in order to see the introduction. I will show you some videos, but then I will tell you what things you have. Now I will tell you what things you shouldn't do, okay? It's like 4 things, I have here my outline. 4 things that you shouldn't do, okay? You shouldn't do when you have to deliver an introduction, okay? So, I mean, at the very beginning, what you have to do, it's never, I don't know if you get the idea. You never, ever, ever read a speech. Never. Extemporaneous. You're going to record yourself, but you're going to record yourself in a video, okay? So I will see you. I will see your body language. I will see the way in which you can have an outline, of course, but you don't have to read. Nobody likes to say, my name is Laura, I don't know, my name is Laura. Do you see how you are already asleep? Because you're reading. We have already established that reading is not fun. So never read. The hardest thing you could ever do is to read a speech in front of people. That's the hardest thing, because your goal is not going to be achieved and your audience is going to be bored, okay? So the second thing that you should never do, yes, I have here my outline, that you should never do is saying, for example, that you didn't rehearse, that you didn't have time to rehearse. That's a thing that you shouldn't say. But for example, say, well, hello, I'm here in the book fair to present in this language congress, or congress about language. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. I didn't have time to to prepare the presentation. No. I'm so nervous? No. You don't have to say that. Okay? Because that's a lie. You have time to practice. With 1 hour a day, you practice. Okay? So the third thing that you shouldn't do is to, for example, if you have to show dates or presentation, you don't have to talk to anything else but the audience. For example, you cannot do this, okay? Well, as I am showing you here, my great and honorable author, no, you can't. That's disgusting. I know that you are an angel, but you don't have to show your back, okay? That's not nice, and even in your video. So control your pests. Control your pets. Mines are crazy. I'm trying to control them, but I cannot give them anything. Well, the next thing, so we have said, no reading, no excuses for not practicing, and telling them that's the problem. No talking, showing your back, okay? You don't have to start reading any presentation or anything that you have here. There is no need for this in particular, the one that we are doing, to prepare a presentation. Don't prepare a presentation because I need to see you, okay, performing the speech. And the third thing is the idea of, I'm sorry, I said the reading part. The fourth and the last one that you shouldn't do is to throw a lot of information. You cannot provide a lot of information of something. Remember the rule of 3. Be concise, be precise, and be coherent. Okay? That's the thing. Here. You got it? Okay. That's the thing. So, I am planning to have this kind of presentations, but more or less middle of June. Okay, I will give you the dates. I can give you the date now. Let me find a calendar. I have here in the computer. Well, so the idea is that you do it, I don't know, you have one task for the 8th, but the idea is to make it to the 22nd of June. 22nd of June, having this one. But in the middle, you won't have any hard tasks, only short things to do, and some of them are going to be examples of this presentation stuff and thing. Okay? So, again, and the raffle would be by the end of this week, so you have time to make research of your author. So again, you're going to introduce an author from the 18th, 17th, 19th century. That I will make the raffle, you will have the raffle, you will have the author, and you will start finding the information. Remember that it's building the image. That is to say, you're going to introduce important facts of their lives. For example, it doesn't matter their family or the way in which they grew up. You have to present it as you don't have to say that it has died, that it's dead. You don't have to say that. Okay, it's everything. It's information about you can say when was he born, his studies, his achievements, things related to their job, their work. I don't care if they have lovers, if they have, I don't know, if the author had problems with drugs. That thing could be like for a second part. If you were together in a classroom, I will ask you to find out those dark details that I really like. if, for example, an author that had many wives, and other author that was other authors that were drug addicts. So that's very nice to have this kind of gossiping, because I already did, no? But well, the idea is that you have gossiping, but I don't care about that now, okay? Sorry. We are going to leave that for any other task. So you just sent a video with the information, with the introduction of the speech, okay? So you're going to start, hello, ladies and gentlemen, hello, here we are together. Use your references as your examples that you have in the booklet to start the presentation, and I will give you others. But try to follow the TOPS formula, because I will focus on that and on the presentation. You will see, if you have any question, you can ask me, but remember that the funniest thing of it is to explore and learn, okay? So, prepare yourself for this. You can use the technology in your favor. So if you want to use filters or green backgrounds to make some kind of, change the background, to make some kind of new thing, it would be nice. So to the 22nd of June, this task. And again, during these weeks, I will ask you to do little things just to rehearse and to provide some information, okay? I will provide some information about the introductions, and I will show you some things. By the end of this week, you will have your reference and your author, okay? Well, so see you. Remember to check everything, accuracy, grammar, and everything. I am correcting all your works already. It's very hard because I'm paying a lot of attention to you, because I want you to be to have some kind of advantage of this personal interaction. So I don't know. See you. Okay. Well.